Od najranijeg detinjstva čovek se uči tome šta je dobro, a šta ne. Šta je prihvatljivo, a šta ne. Za šta sledi stroga kazna, a za šta može da prođe samo sa prekorom. Deca se tako uče granicama. Postoje civilizovani ljudi koji poštuju norme. Uče se da ne napadaju tuđu bezbednost, imovinu i život. Kada kasnije postanu odrasli ljudi i ako neki prekrše zakon, sistem ne odustaje od kazne kao korektivne mere. Mene zanima zašto se negde kažnjavanje oslanja na razumevanje i podršku, a negde na brutalnu osvetu. Dve zemlje, Sjedinjene Države i Norveška, jedna drugoj su toliki kontrast da u završetku polukruga od 180 stepeni mogu da počnu jedna od druge da uče. Idem prvo na zapad, saveznu državu Michigan, grad Detroit.
I've lived around this area of Detroit most of my life. I belong to a motorcycle gang. Well, some people call it a gang, some people call it a club. I think it's a drinking club with a motorcycle problem.
Ronald Kain ima 74 godine. Sećanjem se vraća 50 godina u prošlost, kada odlučuje da otputuje iz Detroita, koji mu kaže tada bio pomalo dosadio.
When I graduated, me and my friend, my best friend, we headed out. We drove our motorcycles everywhere, Canada, Mexico. We got to California, and we decided we're going to join the toughest motorcycle club in the world. It's not like you just sign up and go in. There's a lot to it, but, you know. And we did that.
Na jednom putu iz Kalifornije do rodnog Detroita kupe dva autostopera hipika.
Back in those days, hippies and motorcycle people got along together because we're both long hair. Everybody over 40 should die. So we picked up these two hitchhikers, and we asked them, you got any money to help for gas? They said, no, we don't have anything. Okay. I'm driving, I look in the mirror, and the guy, he's putting our beers in his knapsack. Not a good thing to do in a van full of bikers. We were nice to them, and they're going to steal from us. We beat them up, all right? We threw them out of the van, and we shook them down for money. They lied. They had $1.17. And we took our beer back, and we get into Oklahoma.
U Oklahomi ih očekuje šok. Prisjeća se da ih u jednom momentu okružuje 10-ak policijskih automobila. Policajci im komanduju da legnu na zemlju, sa rukama iza glave.
And we're being charged with armed robbery. And we're thinking, armed robbery? Now, we have knives, and we travel with guns and knives. We always do. So they got us in jail for $1.17.
Ipak, ispostavlja se da ih terete za još jedan težak zločin, ubistvo. Ono se desilo u državi Novi Meksiko, u kojoj, tvrdi Ronald, nisu stali na putu do Oklahome. Žrtva je belac, tek punoletan. What was the name of the victim?
William Belton. He was a college student.
What happened to him?
The victim was shot, stabbed, emasculated, and left up in the mountains to die.
Počelo je suđenja sa njim i ispovesti svedoka koje je dovodio tužilac.
We go to trial, and they bring this woman up there. Her name is Judy Weir. She says that she is a part-time hotel maid and prostitute. But she says she saw us kill this guy. She knows my name. She knows my girlfriend's name. She knows every one of our names. She knows stuff about us. And we've never met this woman in our life. How the hell does she know all this stuff? My God.
Ronald tvrdi da tužilac tu nije prestao da ih iznenađuje sa svedocima. Oni su se, kaže, jednostavno ređali i zvučali veoma uvereno u to što govore.
Two people from the prison came and said that I confessed to them of the murder, and they knew all the details of the murder.
Prison snitches are not the most reliable witnesses, no?
No, they're not at all. In order for me to confess to these guys, they were in what's called protective custody, another part of the prison. I would have had to get out of my cell, go through bars, then another barred gate. The guards with the machine guns in the tower, I have to wave at them and go by, you know. Climb over fences, go to this other part of the prison and break into that part of the prison, go past those guards and wave, you know, and then snitch and then come back, you know. It was impossible.
Sva četvorica su ubrzo osuđeni na smrtnu kaznu. U ćeliju kojoj čeka na izvršenje, Ronald odlučuje da napiše pismo devojci sa kojim je ranije planirao da se venča.
So I had to let her go because I didn't want to put her through this. So I wrote her a letter, Dear Cindy, you need to go on with your life. I said, find a man, first of all, with a good job. One that's got nothing to do with motorcycle clubs. You know, and a good person, a good, kind man. That's what you want. Go out and find that and forget about me. I'm done.
You loved that girl a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to put her through that.
Ronald i ostali su znali datum izvršenja kazne. Zakazan je za 2 godine nakon presude.
I did a stupid thing. I had a calendar on my wall, and I would cross off every day, so I knew how many days I had yet to live.
When it gets closer, how does it feel?
You're hopeless, you're helpless. There's nothing you can do about it. These people are going to kill you, okay? And
in the gas chamber.
In a gas chamber. You know you didn't do it. Your God knows you didn't do it. Your friends who were with you know you didn't do it. A lot of people know you didn't do it, but they're going to kill you anyway just to satisfy some corrupt prosecutor.
Ronald je prestao da se moli Bogu kad je ušao u zatvor. Seća se da mu je u posljednjem obraćanju saopštio da je ljut jer je optužen bezrazložno.
I told him, how can you do this to me? You know we didn't do this. You know. Sure, I've done some bad things. Oh, we used to bar fight, get drunk, all kinds of stuff. We did rowdy stuff like that. Never killed anybody or anything. And how can you do this to me? And I got mad at him. I said, you know what? I will never talk to you again on this side of these bars. And I didn't. And it was kind of weird because as it started getting closer to my execution date, I kind of wish I shouldn't have said that. You know? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But how do you take it back, you know? You took an oath to God. How do you take that back, you know?
But your God was on your side, yeah?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
9 dana pre izvršenja smrtne presude, u jednu policijsku stanicu je ušetao čovek koji je nakon razgovora sa sveštenikom rešio da prizna stravično ubistvo.
And then all of a sudden, this guy's walking down the street and said God came into his heart. Wow. So he didn't abandon me. He was just teaching me a lesson, straightening out my life.
Niko od umešanih u nameštanje slučaja nije robijao. Svako od četvorice bajkera je dobio tek oko $2200 odštete na kraju. Iako zvuči neverovatno i kao scenario za film u koji bi malo ko poverovao, sličnih priča i oborenih smrtnih presuda je sve više u poslednje vreme. Ronald se glasno zalaže za ukidanje smrtne kazne. Volontira u organizaciji Witness to Innocence ili Svedok nevinosti, gde pomaže nepravedno osuđenima kad izađu iz zatvora. Sad iz vetrovitog Michigana idemo u vlažnu Floridu, u grad Tallahassee. Tamo živi Del Riccinella, sin italijanskih imigranata i nekad veoma uspešan berzanski broker. Time se, kaže, bavio sve dok nije shvatio da ga ne zanima novac, već odnos sa Bogom.
I started on death row in 1998.
Del radi kao duhovni savjetnik za osuđenike na smrt, što znači da mesec i po pre izvršenja presude zatvorenik koji poželi pomoć pri molitvi i ispovedanju može da pozove Dela da ga vodi u tom procesu.
A spiritual advisor is there to provide comfort, aid, hope, and to help the man deal with what's happening in a way that preserves his self-respect and the way he wants to feel dignified in how he's handling this for himself and for his loved ones.
So you talk?
We talk, we pray, and sometimes we cry.
Put kojim idu zajedno jedan završava, a drugi svedoči tom kraju. Del je bio prisutan tokom 19 pogubljenja.
Did you meet some of the inmates for whom you believe that they're innocent?
I have met several inmates who have proclaimed that they're innocent and have evidence of innocence, and with some of them, I'm absolutely convinced they are innocent, and I have no understanding of how they were convicted.
Del se ipak slaže sa tim da nisu ni pošto svi nevini. Neki su počinili monstruozna dela. O čemu pričaju ljudi koji će se uskoro nasilno sresti sa krajem života?
Well, usually they tell me about the people in their life that are most important to them, their mother, their wife, their children, their daughters especially, grandchildren.
You probably met some people who feel sorry for what they did.
I had one fellow who said, well, I don't want to talk about anything spiritual. How about we talk about sports? And I said, you know, I'm here as a spiritual advisor, not a guest. How about you explain to me why you don't want to talk to God? And that's where we started. And as it turns out, he had some very good reasons because of the way, quote, Christians had treated him, because he was poor in a small town. So he had a lot of reasons to be angry with God, and we worked through that. And as it turned out, the day of his execution, he asked to be baptized. And he went to the gurney in total peace.
Florida je prestala da kažnjenike ubija strujom kad je poslednjeg zahvatio užasan požar.
The priest who did this before me witnessed 4 electrocutions. In the last electrocution that he witnessed, I believe it was in 1997, the man's head caught on fire alive. He was alive and his head caught on fire, and the flames were leaping out of his head 3 feet in the air, and his burning flesh, the ashes, were floating in the chamber. The priest went to the bishops and said he couldn't do this anymore.
Del Ričinela se seća kada je procedura smrtonosnom injekcijom krenula po zlu.
What happened to the person was that the chemicals for the lethal injection were not going into his veins or his arteries, they were going into his flesh. The needles were wrong. When they did the autopsy, he had third-degree burns in this arm, 11 inches long from the bone to the skin, and in this arm, 10 inches long, third-degree burns inside, from the bone to the skin. After the autopsy, my wife, who helps me deal with all this, she said, Dale, what's the difference between burning somebody to death with electricity from the outside in and burning them to death with chemicals from the inside out? And that's when I had to go into trauma therapy to deal with what witnessing these killings was doing to me.
Na dan egzekucije u zatvoru sve staje. Desetine državnih službenika čekaju eventualni poziv koji će preneti pomilovanje. To je prekovremeni rad i sistem sve to mnogo košta. Ipak najviše se nadaju tom pozivu deca osuđenih.
Here's this whole life that is being affected by this act of execution. And it has nothing, does nothing for justice, does nothing to heal anybody. It's barbaric to punish families for what somebody in their family did.
Oni koji upoznaju druge porodice, porodice žrtava, nemaju razumevanja kao brat Del. Zato sad idemo u srce Amerike, Teksas. Tamo se izvršava najviše smrtnih kazni u ovoj zemlji. Prva stanica, okrug Harris koji pokriva Houston sa periferijom. U Houstonu me čekaju dva detektiva. Ovo je Matthew Brady, ima 49 godina. I njegov partner Michael Kess, koji ima 52. Obojica rade u odeljenju za ubistvo. Samo Matthew je uhvatio i poslao trojicu ubica na smrtnu kaznu.
So these are all the Houston police officers that have died in the line of duty over the years.
That's lots of badges.
There's a lot of badges.
You hear some of these guys?
Some of them. You know, we came onto the department around 2006. So Rodney Johnson, we were. Yeah, he was killed in his patrol car by a suspect in the back seat that had a gun in his pants. He shot him and killed him in the back of the head as he's in his police car.
Matthew i Michael su deo velike sile koju grad Houston koristi za borbu protiv kriminala. Četvrti su po veličini u Sjedinjenim državama sa 6.000 policajaca. Ipak, ni to nije dovoljno da se spreči ogromna stopa kriminala. Procenat rešenih slučajeva je tek oko 50%. U porastu su zločini u kojima su žene počinioci, kao i ubistva, nakon svađe u saobraćaju.
Last year we had 470 murders in Houston.
470 murders.
Right.
That's more than one per day.
Yes. And we are tracking that way this year also. Probably going to have more.
Matthew i Michael me vode kroz jedinicu koja lovi najteže zločince. Ubice.
This is our homicide division. So this is where we work our murders. This is staffed 24 hours a day. We have about 100 detectives that work murder cases. We work in pairs. This is my partner. We work together, and then we're part of a squad. This desk is manned 24 hours a day. This is where our calls come in. This is where the patrol officers will call and say we're out on a scene. They call him, he takes the information, and then he'll dispatch whoever is up next for the next scene that comes in. We're on a rotation. There's a board over here that controls the order, and it's whoever's next gets whatever's next. We don't specialize in different types of murders, okay? We just do whatever comes in next.
Polako dolazimo do čuvene table novih slučajeva koja je važan element u toliko serija i filmova američke produkcije. U stvarnosti pripada samo jednom žanru, hororu.
So we're split into two groups, A and B. Okay? These guys are up for scenes this week. These two are the next ones. They're going to get the next scene that comes in. And it goes down the list, right? And then next week, this will be our side, we're here. And then next week, so every other week, you have a week off of not getting a new case. So it gives you time to work on your old cases. Yeah. Hundreds.
Neki rešeni slučajevi nikada ne ispare iz sećanja. Koji je najužasniji?
When I first started, I had a case, this is about 2010, of a 92-year-old woman that was raped to death with a beer bottle that caused such severe injuries that she died. Okay? And he got sentenced to 92 years in jail. That's how old the victim was. But, you know, that's a pretty brutal type of crime. You know, we've seen an awful lot.
Kada otkriju osumnjičenog, nekad ga prate i ne privode celih 6 meseci. Ipak, kad bude pozvan, završava u ovoj prostoriji.
These are our interview rooms. This is where we would bring our suspects in. Usually we'll have them sit there. We would sit here, cameras there, it's all video recorded. And this is where we do our talking.
tada 80% njih prizna zločin.
We have a pretty good record. Look, it goes up and down, right? Sometimes we get none, 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 and then all of a sudden we get 10 in a row, you know? So it's up and down. It depends on the type of case. If we know what happened, because we've got a video or we have other evidence, and we know, it's a lot easier to get a confession from them because they know we know.
Nakon što dobiju priznanje nije kraj. Najveći nedostatak u sistemu kažnjavanja u Teksasu, Matthew vidi u mogućnosti kaucije i neko optužen za ubistvo može položiti samo $7.500 i provesti čak do 5 godina na slobodi.
I'm not asking you this as a police officer, but as a citizen of Houston. What do you think about it?
Well, it's exceptionally concerning. And we have a big problem with it going on right now. I want to say we might even have as many as 100 murderers from the last year that were out on bond, where they killed again.
Ako tamo gde ima najviše izvršenih smrtnih kazni kriminal raste, da li treba nastaviti sa strogom kaznenom politikom?
The punishment should fit the crime, right? So I think in law enforcement, we're probably more pro, you know, punishments that fit the crime and stronger punishments.
So if someone killed someone, the perpetrator, the murderer should experience the same penalty?
Well, not that necessarily, okay? And that's not how we do things. So, but there should be incarceration for significant amounts of time.
Kada detektivi okruga Harris dokazima pošalju nekog na sud, a taj sud presudi smrtnu kaznu, osuđeni znaju da je vrlo verovatno poslednje mesto koje će videti Huntsville. Miran gradić od nekih 40.000 ljudi. U ovom zatvoru, koji je napravljen pre više od 150 godina, izvršavaju se sve smrtne kazne presuđene u Teksasu. Od 550 egzekucija u Huntsvilleu, 361 osoba pogubljena je na električnoj stolici bizarnog naziva Old Sparky, koja se sad nalazi u muzeju u ovom gradu. Već 40 godina u Teksasu za izvršenje najteže kazne koristi se smrtonosna injekcija. Svi oni koji danas čekaju tu kaznu nalaze se u Livingstonu, gradiću od 5.000 ljudi, smeštenom na istoimenom jezeru, nekih 40 kilometara od Huntsville. I to u ovom betonskom zdanju, Polunski zatvor, jednom od najčuvanijih i najstrožijih u celim Sjedinjenim Američkim Državama.
Shall I call you Mr. Colon or Joseph?
They call me Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Ovo je Joseph Colon. Imamo isto godina, 44. Smrtnu kaznu čeka zbog ubistva 2 žene, majke i ćerke. Zvale su se Mary i Brianna Goodman i u trenutku smrti imale su 41, odnosno 16 godina. Ubijene su u svojoj kući. Joseph je žrtve poznavao od ranije jer su se posećivale sa njegovom porodicom. I tvrdi da ih on nije ubio.
Nobody accused me of this case. A detective suggested me as a suspect in this case. So it's a difference if you say, oh, I saw him do this. Nobody said they saw me do anything. The detective suggested me in this crime. You know, and by law, that's wrong. Now, if he felt that I was a suspect in this case, He should have investigated me and put me in this case and did it the right way. He didn't do that.
Nakon hapšenja, 7 godina je proveo u okružnom zatvoru čekajući da suđenje počne. U aprilu 2017. posle 6 dana suđenja i 3 dana većanja porote, Colon je proglašen krivim i osuđen na smrt.
Can you go back to the end of your trial when the judge read the verdict?
It was a sad day, man, you know, so I had to just look deep within myself and just remain resilient and strong within, you know, but find peace within. I hear the ahs and the crying in the back, you know, and then I know this is my family, you know, and it's a heartbreaking time. It's sad, you know. When you have love in your heart, you never want to see nothing wrong happen to your family, you know. In the back of my mind, I'm knowing, hey, it's a strong possibility that we can win. When I seen that those jurors was back there fighting for my innocence, but you know, when you're in situations like this, you also know that you don't always get a fair shake, you know, and I didn't get a fair shake.
Colon kao osuđen na smrtnu kaznu poslednjih 5 godina provodi u samici, u posebnom bloku gde je 200 ljudi kojima je presuđeno isto. Osuđenici poput Josefa imaju pravo na samo 2 sata nedeljno van ćelije, i to za rekreaciju u dvorištu.
Most of my routine, you know, I get up in the morning, man, and I always try to set some good intentions. I practice hygiene, you know, get my hygiene together, you know, brush my teeth, steam my face, drink a cup of coffee, you know, and sit down and gather my thoughts. And I'm big on energy, so I just try to embrace the energy, whatever I feel for the day, and just kind of let the universe and the Most High speak to me, you know what I'm saying?
U posetu mu najčešće dolaze sin i kćerka. Imaju 19 i 20 godina. Veći deo njihovog života otac je iza rešetaka.
Yeah, man, they you know, I've been watching them grow up from here, you know, and that's the hardest thing about being incarcerated. Being away from your family, man, your loved ones, your kids, you know, these glass boots or through visitation, or you have to watch them grow up through pictures, you know what I'm saying? We don't have telephone access back there, so it's our only source of communicating with our family and friends is through correspondence, mail correspondence. That's the only way that we can actually just communicate with our family and friends.
Ipak možda se nešto bitno promeni u životu Josefa Colona. Nakon što su njegovi advokati 5 godina tragali za greškama u procesu i ulagali žalbe, država Teksas poništila je presudu. Utvrđeno je da je forenzičar svesno ili nesvesno svedočio pogrešno. Takođe, DNK dokaz, na osnovu koga je presuđeno, nije čuvan pravilno. Colon sada može dobiti novo suđenje, na kome može biti potvrđena ili oborena presuda. On se nada ekspresnom oslobađanju.
Me personally, I don't even think it's gonna be a next trial. When you're dealing with law officials, man, no one likes to admit that they're wrong. So they might try to just ease this by as smooth as they can, you know. It's several things they could try. They could either try to bring me back to trial, or they could just say, hey, we're willing to drop this case because of this, and you go your way, we go ours, you know.
Uprkos njegovom optimizmu, Colon je još uvek na korak od smrtne presude. Teksas i dalje traži krivca za ubistvo Mary i Briane Goodman, kao i mnogih drugih čiji su životi prevremeno završeni. U zatvoru kome je 5 godina, Colon je upoznao mnogo onih koji su priznali zločin. Zanima me da li za neke smatra da ne treba imati milosti.
Just killing is wrong, just in general, just bottom line, point blank. It's like, so whether the state is doing it or not, you have a lot of people that are bloodthirsty. They say it's like an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and they don't even understand what the real meaning behind that biblical scripture. No person has the authority to take another person's life.
Većina kriminologa smatraju da se smrtnom kaznom društvo ne pacifikuje. Ipak, ovakav vid kažnjavanja ostaje dominantan kada su u pitanju najteži zločini. I to u blizu 60 zemalja. Najviše ih se izvrši u Kini, Pakistanu, Iranu, Saudijskoj Arabiji, Somaliji i Egiptu. Sjedinjene države su gotovo uvek u prvih 10. Poslednja smrtna kazna u Norveškoj izvršena je 1876. godine. Norveško društvo važi za jedno od najmanje nasilnih i najsigurnijih za kretanje na celom svetu.
First years were very tough. I felt really afraid. I remember the first month after, I slept with a knife in my bed. I didn't trust anyone. I had troubles with sleep, concentrating, reading, a lot of things that affected my ability to live a normal life. And I struggled for many years. Still, it can be troublesome sometimes.
You have a red bag and a black bag, 2 rooms from here.
Yeah. The black bag is a bag I had on the island. It was a part of my luggage. And all belongings and luggage were confiscated by the police. We took almost a year before they started to give it back. And then when I was going to pick it up, it had this note on the bag where they had me ID number and just one word, which was alive. And that just one word, alive, is maybe a symbol for how lucky I was.
Fredrik Sledbak je imao 21 godinu kada je izbegao smrt na Utoji, u najvećem terorističkom napadu u Norveškoj.
What about the red bag?
During the first weeks after the thing happened, it was still very difficult to understand what we were part of, because there was so much information and I couldn't take it in. So I took care of newspapers for several weeks, just because I think maybe I want to read it later. But that's 11 years ago, and I still haven't read them. I can't make myself read them. But on the other hand, I can't get rid of them as well.
Terorista Anders Behring Breivik je postavio i aktivirao kombi bombu koja je u Oslu ubila 8 ljudi i izazvala opštu paniku. Za to vreme on je obučen kao policajac čamcem došao na ostrvo na kojem je Radnička partija Norveške organizovala višednevni festival za svoj podmladak.
It was a normal afternoon. Then at one point we started to become rumors about this explosion in Oslo, and people started to be afraid because there was a lot of young people. The youngest was 12, 13 years old.
Deca u toj zemlji od malena uče da veruju policiji i potrče prvo ka njima ako se nešto opasno događa. Od 69 žrtava na ostrvu, 33 je bilo mlađe od 18 godina. Najmlađa žrtva imala je samo 14.
I was on my way down to the boat, and I remember picking up in my eye. Very strange to see a police officer here. I think I'd never seen it before. And then, just seconds after, I hear a gunshot. I turn around and I see the man falling on his knees and then down on the ground.
Fredrik kaže da ga je taj užasni događaj približio crkvi i svešteničkom pozivu koji sada obavlja u Evenesu, mestašcu unutar polarnog kruga. Ni više od deceniju posle zločina, rane nastale tog dana nisu zaceljene.
When we got to know who the terrorist was, I think my first reaction was anger. But not only on the terrorist himself, but also angry on the government and the society for how detailed he prepared for this for months, and it was never picked up by anyone.
But for him personally, what did you wish for? To die immediately?
I can admit that I have had some times where I think that the best and most human way for all of us who survived and the parents who live without the child, the best would be that the police killed him just straight away. But then again, I think that it's not right to make that choice, because you lower yourself down on the same level as the person you want to punish for terrible actions. It's unhuman to take someone else's life.
Sa krajnjeg severa Norveške putujem u njen centralni deo. Hoću da razumem norveški način odnosa prema kažnjenicima, nadaleko poznat kao blag. I sam masovni ubica sa ostrva Utoja uživa igrajući video igre, ima priliku da gleda TV. Zanima me zašto je to tako. Stižem u maloletnički zatvor u Bergenu. Ovde su oni mladi koji su počinili najteže moguće zločine i osuđeni su da deo kazne do punoletstva provedu zaključani. Ipak, to nije bukvalno baš tako. Nekad mogu slobodno u školu u obližnjem naselju. Kontrolišu se po povratku u zatvor. Asmund Steine vodi ovaj zatvor za maloletnike. U raznim popravnim institucijama radi već 20 godina. Pokazuje uslove u kojima osuđenici žive. Ogroman prostor može da primi tek 4 dece u isto vreme. Osoblja koje brine o njima je 6 puta više.
The rooms looks like a normal room, actually. It's a bed, it's a bathroom, you have a TV, but also a lot of lights coming in. So you can see it's no bars, but security glass.
Security glass, so they cannot get out.
No.
And you can open the room, you can open the window just like this.
Yeah. So you need some fresh air. So
You can't go through.
now you can't go through, and if you try to, we will hear that. Yeah.
What's the crime? Why are they here for?
One thing in common: it's serious crime, and very serious. Could be robbery, knife attacks. We have juveniles committed murder. It's serious crime and a lot of crime. But it is a goal for us and for the Norwegian government that children should be in the prison for a shortest period of time.
Maloletnici su slobodni da koriste dnevni boravak koji je srce prostora i u kome zajedno sa vaspitačima spremaju sve obroke. Popularni su i teren za sport, kao i teretana. Zaključani su tokom noći, sve do 15 do 8 ujutru i 1 sat u sred dana kada se smenjuju 2 smene vaspitača.
And at night time, we make sure that everything is fine. So if they make a call or something, we ask them, everything's fine, what's the problem? I need a glass of milk or some food, we deliver. Almost like home, just don't the claw are locked up.
Asmund kaže da su deca koja služe kaznu neretko iz porodica u kojima su zapušteni odnosi, gde su često i sami roditelji ili kriminalci ili zavisnici. Objašnjava da dajući maloletnicima pozitivne mogućnosti, kao što su obrazovanje, zatim zdrav dnevni ritam i priliku da preuzmu obaveze, pokušavaju da ih na slobodu vrate kao osobe koje su spoznale da život može bolje da izgleda. Ipak, ne uskraćuju im kontakt sa porodicom. Šta više, dužni su da roditeljima organizuju put i boravak.
Normally, they stay in this apartment in daytime. They can stay there at night if they want to. And in the evening, they go to a hotel in Bergen. But if they want to stay here during the night, they can.
So they can spend the night with the child?
Yeah. But no one of the parents want it. In the evening, they want to go out of the unit and sleep somewhere else.
Why?
I don't know. You know, this is tough for the parents to come visiting the children in prison. So I think in the afternoon, they need some space for themselves to think it over, and they want to go somewhere else. I think it's too tough to sleep in the prison.
U drugom delu zatvora Bjorgvin u Bergenu je deo za punoletne kažnjenike. U plavom kontejneru sa iscrtanim crnim pacovima događa se nešto nepojmljivo većem delu planete.
Fire.
It's not usually that prisons look like this, isn't it?
What do you mean, this?
What is this?
Oh, this is where we learn to play music. It's a form of therapy. Therapy.
And you're a therapist?
No, I'm an inmate.
Ah.
Yeah. And 2 times a week we go here. One day I play alone with the teacher, and on every Friday we play a little band.
How does it feel to get out of the cell and take this bass guitar and play? How does it feel?
It feels very good. I've never tried it before, but it works very good for me.
How long is your sentence here?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Arne Mesić ima 44 godine. Otac mu iz Bosne i Hercegovine, majka Norvežanka. Ne želi da kaže zbog čega je u zatvoru. It's not easy to be not locked, but let's say moved away from the family and friends for a year.
No, it's not easy, but I take, what should I say, advantage of everything, every possibility I have in prison. For me, it's much training. I do this music thing, and that makes my days go. I notice after I start playing music, if I'm having a bad day, I just go around, singing a little bit, and it do something good for me.
What about playing in a rock band? It's like a team. So you're a member of the team, and how does it work?
If one day I don't come and play with the band, I will get a little bad. I will feel a little bad. It's like a little brotherhood. It's like a little, you have a responsibility, I feel like. You have to stand up for each other.
Okay, let's play one song that, all the people in our region, they know this. They know this guy and know his songs. He's very famous.
And then back to G.
No. Just briefly. Okay, let's. Kuda si pošla sa tim tamnim očima i čije ime ti na usne počiva? Kaži mi ko ti guža postelju i ko ima zlatne ključeve od tvojih tajnih. Hajde, plavi moj safiru, hajde, čežnjo i nemiru, hajde, dođi i ostani tu. Ostani tu. Dođi i ostani, Yeah, we can
play together. We have a band now.
I should join for the next session. The outside of this space where you have these music therapies is very symbolic, you know, like so many rats. Many societies around the world see inmates, you know, people who broke the law as rats. How do you see them?
I see the people I work with as just ordinary people who did something. Every time I meet somebody new, I just meet them with an open mind and trying to just to get to know them and try to figure out what do you need to have a better life quality, what are your dreams, what are your goals, and I try to find out how can we use music to put you on that road.
Kristal Marija Mendoza Jonsen je muzikoterapeut. Piše istoriju jer je Norveška jedna od retkih i prvih zemalja na svetu koja je uvela ovaj način terapije u zatvore. Različite istraživanja pokazuju da se time smanjuje anksioznost zatvorenika, bude zaboravljene emocije, ali i smanjuje broj povratnika. Aren't you afraid spending time with them alone inside?
No, not so much. No. We have this alarm, so I feel safe, and also I have not have many episodes with aggression, but there has been some, but I need to take some time and to think that was that person, and now I'm working with another person.
What drives you doing this job? It's not easy, it's not safe.
Yeah, it's just the interaction I have with the inmates, that I can see how effective music is. I can see after one session that something positive comes out of it. Even if it's, maybe we're speaking about negative things, there's always like something good that comes with it. And I don't think it's because of me, I think it's because of music.
Iza svega ovoga stoji jedna žena sa svojim timom, Ann Hege Brustad. Tokom pauze za ručak ima vremena da mi objasni zašto Norveška toliko ulaže u one koji bi po poznatim shvatanjima trebalo da pate dok su u zatvoru zbog nečeg lošeg što su uradili.
All we do is with a thought behind. So if you are sentenced here and you just keep doing what you have been doing so far, you are coming back. So we have to try to change the way you behave, the way you think. So try to prepare to take other choices.
Can you see success in what you're doing?
We have a lot of recidivism in Norway, yeah, compared to some other countries. So I hope that's because we do the kind of work we do here.
Ann Hege i njene kolege zajedno sa zatvorenicima voze Tour de France, kao i biciklističku arktičku trku Norveške. Zatim još jašu konje, voze motokros i skijaju. Mora da je gadno kada vide da kod nekog sav taj trud nije upalio.
When you see some returnees, how do you feel?
You know, change takes time. So maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time, but something happens along the way. So maybe the third time. Yeah.
You believe in people so much.
I do.
You believe in capital punishment?
Because, no. I don't know what kind of luggage people have when they come here. I don't know anything about their childhood. I don't know anything about their background. So who am I to judge?
It's not even a punishment, it's revenge by the state. We have to help people realize the horror they've caused to innocent people, and we have to help them actively to find a way to live a different life, even in prison.
What's the solution?
For murders, I figure give them life in prison. For one thing, if you execute them, they don't have to pay for what they did. And if you take away their life, they don't have to suffer anymore. I believe people should be responsible for what they did. I don't think killing them helps.